I just felt like I'm the only black girl in my class. No one's gonna be smarter than me. No one's gonna be faster than me. No, you're not gonna be a better cheerleader than me. You're not gonna be a better nothing than me. Like, I'm going to be the best.
Sis, is it me?
Okay.
Am I the drama? Am I the problem?
Hey friends, welcome back to Her Intentionally. This is the podcast about choosing to be intentional because thriving doesn't happen by accident. I'm your host, Keisha.
And I'm Jasmine.
And before we get started today, we're going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up. So we're about to jump into this game.
Oh, I got a really good game for us.
You do?
Because sometimes we be tripping. So I just want us to check our temperatures.
Okay.
The name of the game is called Sis, is it me?
Okay.
Am I the drama? Am I the problem?
Okay.
So I'll say a few things and then you'll let me know if it's you or not.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So, the first thing, I'm healed until I get triggered again.
I resonate.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, I resonate. That's
okay,
me. Yeah, I resonate with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain a little, like, when do you act crazy like that?
You know what? I feel like it's more so around like those like deep-seated wounds and stuff, because I think that healing is not linear, and sometimes I'll get into a place where I feel like, oh, I'm healed from that, and then something will happen and I'll be like, oh, wait a minute,
you back, like, yes. Oh, you saw it.
That's right, exactly. Where it's like, girl, okay, you still got some work to do in that situation, and I can always feel it, because I can always feel it like starting to like bubble up inside of me. Like I can always feel it like happening here. I can always feel it happening here. Yeah. Wow. Everything comes up from there for me. Yeah.
Okay.
What else you got?
Okay. So I get emotionally attached to people too fast.
I will say, okay.
Explain.
It's like, tell the truth about yourself. Yeah. I think old Keisha resonated with that more.
Okay.
This like Keisha 2.0, I don't know if she really resonates as much with that. But I used to be the kind of person like, and maybe to some degree still, but I think maybe I have a little bit more discernment with it now. But like if I caught like a vibe with somebody, I don't know, like I just like I fell for people easily. Like I'd be like, oh, we best friends now.
Right.
Oh, we homeboys. Like we homegirls now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. And sometimes I relate, because if the vibe feels genuine, like you just kind of want to go with that. Yeah, I feel like I would trust myself enough to know like if I should trust that person or not. But actually, in saying that, I realized like in the past I misjudged people. And I kind of like got attached too fast, and it like backfired on me.
For sure. Yeah. I feel like speaking on that, what you're saying, like now I feel like I'm more like, okay, wait to see a little bit more consistency. Yeah. But I'm also in between, like, but also everything doesn't have to be that serious. Like maybe you caught a vibe with that person and you hung out with them, and they're not meant to be like best friends with you. You'll see them like every couple of months or so.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes, and it'll just be cool when you see them.
I guess you just learn to separate like friends from like acquaintances.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's exactly right. And I feel like the older you get, the more like precise you get. That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. For me anyway. Yeah. What about y'all?
Yeah. Okay. Tell us about y'all. Let us know in the comments. So yeah. And be honest.
Okay? Be honest about yourself.
Be honest. Okay. Okay. So the last one I got, I give more than I receive.
Yeah, I resonate.
You do?
I resonate with that for sure. Yeah.
Where does that come from? Like, tell us more about that.
I feel like for me, I think that it comes from like this place of like maybe still having to work on like self-acceptance and self-worth a little bit more and self-love, because I think sometimes you like in the past, I know that I felt like maybe if I give more, if I show up more, if I do more, if I perform more. But too, that's the kind of environment that I was raised in. Like the more you do or the better you do, then I was like looking to receive love in exchange for that. So I feel like that's probably where that comes from for me. Because sometimes it's like people ain't even ask for that. Like they ain't ask you to do all of that. Like you just did all of that.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Sure. It's like, girl, nobody told you to do that.
Nobody told you to do that.
To go to the star and the moon.
And then you mad because they didn't go to the stars and the moon for you. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it too, girl.
Okay, so now let's flip it a little bit. Let me ask you a couple of them. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I shut down when I feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
That's you.
That's me. That's Jasmine. Not Jazzy 2.0.
Period 2.0.
Because it's like I'm working on communication, I'm working on strengthening my relationships, and I guess like building more trust in those areas. So, you know, you can't be shutting down on people. Like you can't Now, I will say, if I feel that I'm maybe being taken out of character or the situation is getting a little above me, then I might separate myself for a little while and take a little time and then come back to revisit the conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm never just like shutting down completely. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I find that to be like very toxic. And I realized when people did that to me, I didn't like how that felt. So moving forward and being more intentional, I don't want to do that to people.
Yeah. But do you feel that's like it's shutting down, or do you feel that, because to me that resonates more as like you're regulating, like when you say like I'm going to take a moment to gather myself before I come back to the conversation, like to me that's like regulating
sometimes. But also sometimes I can remember when I just shut down because maybe it was just like too uncomfortable. Like the conversation was just too uncomfortable and maybe I wasn't ready to dive in at that moment, so shutting down was like a quick response to that as well. Yeah.
I feel like for myself, for you, for people out there listening, I feel like when you're in a safe relationship, that you won't necessarily feel the need to continue to shut down.
Right.
Yeah. And the safe relationship doesn't have to necessarily be like with another person. It could be like when you're in a safe relationship with yourself. Yeah. Then you won't feel the need to like keep shutting down.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because your voice deserves to be heard. Okay, sure. So the next one. Ooh, I love it. I give TED Talks in the shower about you read. Okay. I give TED Talks in the shower about conversations I'll never have.
Girl, that's me through and through. Okay. Now, for the record, I will have a TED Talk or maybe TED Talks. Okay. So I think that's more of what it is, just like manifesting the actual moment. But yeah, sis, sometimes I get carried away and it's like, oh, are you cool? Are you okay? Because you're talking to yourself and you're answering yourself. My grandmother always told me like, it's okay to talk to yourself, but when you start to answer yourself, that's when you getting a little off, like a little crazy.
Yeah. Like, she would have thought I was completely off there because I'll be having a full dialogue with myself.
And I do that too, but now I'm like judgmental of myself from having that dialogue with myself. So often I find myself like, girl, okay, you need to talk to yourself for 30 minutes now. Like wrap it up, like bringing myself out of it. But that's definitely me. I'm giving the TED Talks.
Do you ever get to a point where you like record the things that you're saying? Because sometimes I do that. Like besides like just in the shower, because it says you give TED Talks in the shower, right? Yeah. Do you like outside of the shower and stuff, like when you're just walking around the house, you cleaning or something, or are you still doing the same thing?
Well, actually yes. Especially like if I'm by myself, especially in the car driving. Most of the time, if I'm not listening to like really good music or something like a podcast or something, I'll just shut all the music off and roll down my windows in my sunroom and then just listen to the wind and like nature and everything.
Yeah.
So I find myself whenever I'm in that mode, girl, I just be talking and talking and talking. And before I know it, it's like I ended up somewhere and I forgot that I was even driving because I'm doing so much talking to myself in my head.
That's right. Yeah. I do that a lot of times too, and a lot of times I will record it because sometimes I find them to be like downloads. You know what I'm saying? It's like things that are messaging that's trickling through that like maybe you need to go back and hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I actually should try that.
Yeah. Record it. Yeah. Okay. Now this is the last one. I say yes even when my body says no.
Oh my God.
Is that y'all?
Is that y'all? Because I think that seems like a real common thing.
Yeah.
To like overextend yourself or always feel like maybe the guilt of not showing up. I know for me personally.
Excuse me.
I know for me personally, sometimes I feel like I'm showing up for people because I feel obligated to or kind of out of guilt, even though I know I'm not feeling well or up to it. Not even, maybe I'm not sick. Maybe I just don't have the capacity at the time to extend myself in, a social environment or whatever I'm saying no to. Like, so I feel like the older I get and the more I'm working on taking care of myself and being more intentional about loving myself, I'm letting myself know, like, it's okay. Like, you matter too. It's okay to say no. It's okay to turn this down or that down because, the body needs rest. We need rest. So I need to listen to myself more and honor that.
Yeah, 1000%. I agree with that. I feel like saying no or resting yourself is like, to me, one of the highest forms of self-love that you can do. I think so. Yeah. I agree. Okay, so now that we all know each other just a little bit more, we are going to go ahead and just dive in. Okay, so today's conversation piece is all about collaboration over competition, especially in regards to women.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you guys and to you, Jazz, is what messaging around women, around community, around like when you think of collaboration and competition, do you feel like you received when you were growing up?
So I feel like a lot of times I don't feel like I've ever been like intentionally like competing with people per se, like, oh, I'm better than her at this, or oh, my hair looks better than her. It was never in that manner. More so just like overall being a little competitive. I've been in dance since I was like 7, and we did like a lot of competitions, and so I learned my competitive nature pretty early. And then also in school I was like, I feel like I was always like an overachiever, kind of like what you said earlier, to get approval and stuff from my family and feel like, you know, that love or like validation. So I would do things like that, and then I would just end up in so many things. And so naturally, of course, like you want to win. So I got like super competitive, but it was never like directed towards other women.
Yeah.
But I do remember being in like situations, especially like getting into makeup and being more in sort of like a sisterhood of makeup artists at the studio that we worked at. And I feel like it was a lot of collaboration going on there. And we were all like artists in our own right. But I feel like I learned so much from each artist, but it was never like competitive in like a I'm better than you way, but more like, oh, I like what she's doing. Let me challenge myself to be a better artist, to maybe like, you know, pick up some of her tips, or maybe take this from her, and I like how she does that. So in that way, but never like, I guess like mean girl energy. I just never really had those.
You never had that. Yeah. I feel like that's where I kind of relate to you, especially like on the like early childhood growing up, because mine was kind of similar to yours. Like I don't feel like I got that competitive message around women like growing up, because I grew up in a very like a household that was very like strict, very disciplined, very like authoritarian style, where they cared a lot about how we perform. So like everybody in my family is like super athletic and very like academic. Like we had to be smart. You had to make certain grades. You couldn't make below a certain grade. So I understood competition, I guess, in that way. But even in there, like I didn't feel the need to like compete with my brothers and sisters in that way of like, oh, I have to make better grades than my sister or better grade. I just knew that like I needed to make good grades. Like, I have to keep up. Like everyone here is making good grades, all A's and B's. I need to make sure I'm making all A's and B's as well, because if not, it's not, you know. But I think too, like a lot of the way that we received love or received acceptance or acknowledgement, from my personal perspectives, is that like is when we were doing well. Like it felt like if I did well in school, like made honor roll or banner roll, then I got like love. Or if I did well in a sport, then I got love. So I feel like I learned competition in that way. And the other thing for me is that because in my early years, up until maybe like 6th or 7th grade, I was mostly the only Black girl in my class. So I felt like I had this like thing inside of me that said like I needed to represent in a way, which is like such a ridiculous like heavy burden to place on like yourself, especially as a young child. At that time. But I just felt like I'm the only Black girl in my class. No one's gonna be smarter than me. No one's gonna be faster than me. No, you're not gonna be a better cheerleader than me. You're not gonna be a better nothing than me. Like I'm going to be the best. You know? Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of like my understanding of
the competition,
where I could like competition came from. And I don't feel like I really started to see like girl on girl competition until I got to high school.
Oh yes, high school.
And that was a completely different environment.
That's what all the mean girls were.
For sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait, so can you relate? Like, did you have this experience? Is that where you got this idea from as well? Okay.
Yes. More so I wasn't really competing with other girls. They were competing with me in their heads. It was just like different instances. But I was a dancer, and there was just a lot of like a lot of animosity in my high school with like the dancers and the cheerleaders, because The cheerleaders.
In mine too, actually.
Really?
Like, yeah.
So that's always drama in that area.
It was always like a thing with the dancers and cheerleaders.
At my school, the cheerleaders didn't like when the dancers dated like the football players or basketball players. They felt like that was their territory because they were the cheerleaders.
It could have been birthed from that same thing, but maybe I didn't really get down into what the whole thing was. But yeah.
I think so. I mean, well, there was a lot of the drama going on at my school. So a lot of the cheerleaders were catty, like the dancers, us and the cheerleaders, like we just really didn't get along, which was hard because two of my best friends at the time in high school were cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we had been friends since like middle school. So it's like, I'm not going to stop being friends with them because, I'm a dancer and they're a cheerleader. But the girls were catty. The girls were jealous and don't let you be caught up with their man or who they thought was their man at the time. You know, like I was dating this guy. I was this little story.
Take us back. Yeah.
I was dating this guy and I was in the 10th grade and he was a senior and
you like older men?
I like older men.
Did you just do a little shoulder pop for that he was a senior?
Okay. I was having older men.
Okay.
And so my boyfriend, he was a senior or whatever, and the senior girls, like, he was really good at football and stuff, and he was light skinned, he had braids, and at the time, you know, that was the thing. He was like a pretty boy. And yeah, we were dating, and he had been with like maybe one or two cheerleaders before me, and I was a dancer. But like we really locked it in. I was like he fell in love with me. I was in love. That was my first like
your first love.
First love.
Okay.
Anyway,
he's gone.
That's right. He long gone, honey. So the girls, the senior girls, didn't understand like why he was dating me, like why he wanted to be with me, why he was, you know, doing all the extra stuff for me.
Yeah.
And so they would like talk about me and be catty. And so one of them even told him, like, I guess they were in class together, and he was like, "Oh, like, can I borrow something from you, like maybe some paper or like a pencil or something?" And she was like, "Why are you asking me? Go ask your little girlfriend." "Oh yeah, I forgot. You can't because she's not in the same grade with us." Like, you know, and she's not even all that. And while man, like, she's not even all that pretty. Like, I just don't understand why you with her when you could be with me, like trying to throw herself in the door with my man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he came back and told me that, and I was just like,
the insult to like alley-oop yourself in there, that was a little crazy. But I mean, 17, okay, 16, 17, okay.
I guess, and I'm just like, why? I didn't even know the girl from a can of paint. Of course, I seen her around school, but I never talked to the girl. Like, I didn't know her name for real. Like, when he told me about it, I'm like, who? And so he had to point her out. Like, girl, he had to point you out. I didn't even know who you were. And she was like so pressed about me.
Wait, so he came to tell you that the girl said that?
Yes, he told me what she said because he loved me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he loved me. So he came and told me like,
that's not how that was registered in my mind.
Oh no?
No, but go on.
You thought he was how? He thought he was being messy?
I just like the idea that like I don't think that we win like when we're competitive like that. I feel like it just like keeps the patriarchal system going, and I feel like maybe some part of his ego like liked the idea of like there were like that's right. So let me tell her, because I feel like but also like, okay, he's 16, 17, he probably doesn't know how to regulate that in hindsight. But at the same time, it's like, if he loved you, why tell you that?
Yeah.
Why don't just check the girl? Just check the girl and tell her.
Don't talk about my girlfriend like that.
That's right. Don't talk about her. I'm not going to be with you, and keep it pushing.
Yeah, I think he might. I think he might have said something to her.
Okay.
In those regards, I don't remember that part, but I don't foresee him not saying that and just come and run and tell me in that way. Because I know I didn't feel that way when he told it to me.
Okay.
So I do think it was good intentions, and I think he did like shut her down or whatever. But then he did let me know like this is what
the girl said. Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, like it was just that, and like just always getting like crazy eyes from the cheerleaders. They was just hating. Always hating, or like they'll say stuff about me like, "Oh, she's so bougie. She always got." All right. I guess I did hold myself.
Tell the truth about yourself.
I guess I did hold myself to some sort of standard, but it's like that's how I was raised, and we were not poor people, but we were not rich, but also like we never went without, and so I don't know. People just perceived it how they wanted to, but I never came off like, oh, I have everything. I just was dressed. I was clean, like, you know. I had nice purses, like. In high school or whatever, and I would like, you know, walk around, but that's just like my posture, like, you know, just walking around with my head held high.
Yeah.
Because when you in high school, I don't know if y'all ever did it, girls, like you walk down the hall and you think you're that, like you didn't put on your uniform for the day, like you didn't went with your cute shoes, maybe you did your hair nice that day.
You got your accessories.
Like accessorizing your little uniform.
That's right.
I remember putting like the little shimmer eyeshadow on, like just really thinking you're that bitch, like thinking you're that girl. And so yes, I would walk down the halls like feeling like it was a runway, but not to like diminish anyone else, but people just felt offended in their own insecurities and things like that. So
yeah,
that's why I experienced a little
competition yeah
with the girlies.
Yeah. I feel like I had the same, and I feel like it was always kind of like birthed around boys, because I would always have like, well, not always, I will say that I think for the most part in high school, like I feel like most people liked me, but I feel like, but I always got in trouble and got like into fights, like if it had to do with my sister. Like my sister was, let me not put my sister out there like that.
You ain't gonna spill out her beans.
Let me say that I feel like I experienced some of that in high school as well. And I feel like it was always around like guys, because like sometimes it would be like girls, like you said, like girls like you didn't even know. Like I don't know you. I've never had a conversation with you and you don't like me. Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And actually like in high school, that used to bother me so badly that people, it really did. It really bothered me so bad that people didn't like me, that didn't even know me. I'm like, why they all like me? I'm cool.
Right,
like,
I'm the coolest.
Why you don't like me? Like I never done that to you. But like now I'm like, oh, bitch. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the same. So that brings me to the question of like, how do you stay grounded in your friendships or in relationships with women now? Because I feel like that kind of competitive nature over learning how to collaborate would affect relationship dynamics with other women then.
Well, I will say now that I am in my career, like acting and content creation, there are a lot of people doing what I'm doing. There are a lot of people that want the opportunities too. So it very much feels like competition in my career. But a lot of times, like when I find like other creators that I really vibe with or maybe am building a relationship with, I truly try to support them. But sometimes it is just like human nature. Sometimes I feel like I am getting triggered or something if I see maybe like them getting certain opportunities or just certain things that I want for myself. And it's not that I'm jealous of them per se. It's just that the opportunities, I want that for myself. So when I do feel like that kind of triggering happening or that competitiveness starting to come out of me and I'm starting to compare myself, I then go in and like reframe my thoughts. And maybe it is me taking a step as far as like having to distance myself from their social media, or maybe not look at it so often, maybe still support genuinely and comment and like it and everything, but maybe just not see it so often if it's triggering me until I deal with my inner wounds and why it's making me feel that way. Like, what is it within me that is making me feel slighted by this thing that's happening to my friend or this person? So in moments like that, it's just like reframing myself and then just taking me back to grounding myself, right? To realize like it's not them, like, and it's still love. It's all love, but right now I just need to deal with this thing inside of me and work on that until I'm in a better place with that. So yeah, I just try to like reframe my mind and just think of it from a different perspective.
Yeah. You know what? It totally reminds me of this story that one of my makeup friends told me. I resonate, first of all.
Yeah.
I resonate with that. Yeah, for sure. And it's reminding me of a story that one of my makeup friends told me. So I have two makeup friends. Let's call them Lori and Corey.
Okay.
Is that too close? Lori and Corey? No, let's call it Lori and Tana. Okay,
Lori and Tana.
Okay, so Lori gets a huge opportunity where she's like working with this like big celebrity client, and Tana I saw on set one day and I was like, oh my God, have you seen Lori? She's been doing such amazing things. And Tana started saying to me like, yeah, no, she's been doing amazing and I'm really happy for her. But then she told me like she just was starting to feel like really jealous inside of herself because she felt like she wanted to be doing like big celebrities, or she wanted to be doing the work that Lori was doing. And I first of all thought that was like so bold and brave for her to admit that. Yeah, for her to be vulnerable that way and to admit that. And then also I was like, okay, I understand this. Like, but I felt like she was questioning like whether that made her a bad person, like because she felt like that, or you know what I mean? She had to check herself and say, you know what? she's doing those types of clients, but when I look at her portfolio, she has that type of work in her portfolio. When I look at my own portfolio, I don't have celebrity client, like makeup style inside of my portfolio. I have all of this like clean beauty, no skin, no makeup, just very skin, you know, they're both very talented makeup artists, very beautiful makeup artists, but she's like, I don't even have that in my portfolio. So it's like, how would I be calling that in? And then I told her, I was like, and girl, every time I talk to you, you always tell me you don't want to do celebrity makeup. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, so I guess you do want to do it. So it's like, sometimes it's like, it is like reframing, and it is like figuring out the narrative, like telling a new story to yourself. It's like it's not that you're not getting those opportunities because you are not good enough, or like you're not worthy enough for the opportunity. Maybe you don't have that in your book.
Exactly. You're not preparing you're
not preparing yourself for it. You've been saying you don't want to do that. So if you're saying you don't want to do it,
it's like you're repelling it.
That's exactly right.
Anyways.
That's exactly right. But the thing that you said, like when you see other people, like sometimes you see people getting opportunities, it's like, you know, it's like, it's not that you don't want them to have the opportunity. I will feel like that sometimes as well. It's like and it's not even that I want that opportunity. I just am looking around like, okay, so when mine dropping down? Where my opportunities come? Like, I see you in the neighborhood. Can you swing by my block? Like, can you swing by my block, please? Yeah, exactly. So I would do the same thing where I would start like muting people, not like unfollowing, because I don't want to unfollow like none of my people, because in the same sense, it's like you do get inspired by it. But I would start muting people, and then I started to realize, like, girl, okay, you can't mute everybody. Like, you can't mute everybody, so you have to deal with it. But there's a saying that I heard when I went on a retreat, and they were saying, like, everywhere you go, there you are. So it's like, no matter how much you run away from it, no matter how much you try to block out, you still have to deal with the thing that's there, that's underneath. And so now when I start to feel like that, because I feel like, especially being on social media, that comparison mind frame comes up a lot, you know? But when I start to feel like that now, I will do like what you said, like ground myself. And so what I've been saying to myself lately is like, it's just a sensation. It's not a threat. That's just a sensation. This is not a threat, because it's like my nervous system needs to coax you, because your nervous system does kind of get in like that fight or flight mode, and you get activated that way.
Yeah, because I feel it. For me, I feel it in my chest. Like my shit start getting all heated up and everything. And I
feel like I feel everything here in my stomach. So if I start to feel something happening in my stomach, I've been intentional about practicing this now. So if you feel this starting to happen for you, maybe you can try this and let me know how it works for you. I will try to place my feet, like both feet, on the ground, so I can feel the ground underneath me. And then I will say to myself, like, that's just a sensation. It's not a threat. So it's just a feeling. That's not a real thing. And then I will try to take a couple of deep breaths. Like, I will breathe in through my nose for 4, hold it for 2, and then breathe out through my nose for 6, just to like regulate and to activate that like calming system. The parasympathetic, which will help you like to calm down and to just relax for a moment. Once I'm relaxed, once the regulation has happened, then I will tell myself, like, what story am I telling myself? The reframing, I will try that. Like, what story am I telling myself? What's actually facts versus what am I adding in? What am I making up? What am I adding to the story? Am I adding now, like, oh, they got that opportunity, I'm never gonna get it? That's not a fact. Oh, they got that opportunity, I must have not been good enough for that thing. That's not a fact. You know, like,
what I find myself doing is, so I try to switch it up and switch it immediately to gratitude, right? So it's like, I'll immediately be like, wait, this is not your real feelings. Then I'll just remind myself of how grateful I am for my life and all the amazing opportunities that I have.
That's right.
So I start reminding myself of everything I have going on. Like, girl, you got how many auditions this week? Girl, like, you got how many campaigns? Like, you got stuff going on. So it's almost like we just want it all. It's like, are you crazy? Like, I don't know where we get that from. And I think it's social media. I think it's deeply rooted in social media and seeing like everyone's highlight reel. So it looks like everybody has everything when that's 9 times out of 10 not the facts. You know, like, it just looks that way.
It looks that way. And even if it is, it's like, I like what you said, like, we just want it all. The thing to me is like, and you will have it all.
Exactly.
And you do have it all. But you're gonna have it all for you.
For you.
You're not gonna have her all. Or his all. you're gonna have your all.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to be okay with that. Okay. And that's the thing. Like that's the main thing. I like what you said, like then add in the gratitude at the end of it. I'm gonna try to start adding that into my practice.
It just lifts my energy up.
Just be thankful.
Yeah. It just lifts you up so quickly, and it takes you out of the comparison. And then once I'm done with it, I forget why I was even like comparing myself in the first place. Yeah. And then also it's like you never know what people are going through.
That's right.
So you're wanting somebody else's hand and you don't know what it took for them to get that hand behind closed doors. So I'm in a space now of just never wanting to. I'm so happy and literally like content inside and at peace with my life and my journey that it's just like I wouldn't want to be anyone else.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And so this week I feel like to kind of like further explore and dive a little bit deeper on this topic, I want to journal a little bit about where I first learned to compare myself to other people. Because I feel like that is where that competitive nature starts to brew, is in the comparison aspect of things.
Right.
But I don't want to be in a position where I am trying to compete or feel like I need to keep comparing myself. I want to genuinely collaborate with other people. Yes. So the journal prompt for the week, guys, that Jazz and I both are going to be working on, and we invite you to do the same, is where did you first learn to compare yourself to other people?
And be honest. Be honest with yourself in your journal. It's for you. It's for your own growth. So next time, we'll dive deeper into sisterhood and the importance of safe spaces and how we heal our female wounds.
That's going to be a deep one.
Yeah, it's going to be so deep, y'all.
So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Her Intentionally. Go ahead and hit the like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss another episode, okay?
Yeah.
See y'all next time.
Bye.